Welcome to McAfee Knox Sports Talk. I'm Pat McAfee. To my left, the handsome man in front of a very real bookcase is AJ Hawk. It is Thursday, July 30th. How you doing, AJ?
I'm doing great, Pat. How you doing?
You know, I'm good, man. I'm getting married a couple days.
Yeah!
I'm excited, man.
Are you nervous?
No.
No?
Should I be? Were you?
No. I mean, you should. You've been with Sam for how long?
Long time, 5 years.
Yeah, there's no reason to be nervous.
The thing about it is we've lived together, too, for a majority of our entire relationship. So, and I know this is probably not great to say, but for me, this is us officially taking that next step, you know, which I can't wait for. But I don't see much changing here. Now, granted, I could be very, 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 what's that called? Naive in thinking that. But for me, it's just like I'm excited to see my lady's hard work in real life for the wedding, and everybody have a good time. And you know, my mom, my dad, her mom, her dad. I'm excited for those moments. They're going to be emotional, but yeah, I'm pumped. I'm just pumped to get it over with and get it moving.
Who's your best man?
His name's Phil. He's a CFO, and I told him if he reads his speech, I will slap him and kick him out of the wedding.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. Like, that's true. Like, nothing worse than watching the best man or the maid of honor stand up and they have 7 sheets of paper, and they got to unroll it and look at it and like, okay, here we go. Oh, it's the worst. Today
is a day that none of us thought would happen, especially if you know Chris. Chris has been my best friend, Chris, and our best friend since we were 5. When I saw him, you remember this, wearing his diaper out in public. You remember that, Chris? Everybody else there is like, shut the fuck up, okay? This is obviously a fake story that nobody remembers, or you would have been able to just say it from your heart, say it from your brain, but not everybody's public speakers. CFO Phil is not a public speaker, and I think me adding the fact that he can't read it or have any notes might have just been for me, to be honest with you. It might have just been for me, but I go to other weddings where those people are stumbling, bumbling, fumbling through that fucking inside joke thing fest, and I'm just like, yo, come on, this is a show. You're not talking to each other one-on-one at this point. Everybody is listening. Let's go. And I think Phil will do a great job. I think he'll do a great job tomorrow.
Here you go, Phil.
Or Saturday.
Here you go, Phil.
Phil actually just texted and said, relax, AJ.
When you hear a good one, you know. Like, hey, this was special. My cousin, his brother was getting married, I don't know how many years ago, and my one cousin pulled out the sheets of paper to read them. My cousin Sean, and I was like, oh, man, Sean's like a character, funny guy. This is weird. He's going to read it. He pulls it out. And he didn't look at his sheet once. And when he finally finished, 20 minutes later, he's like, I don't know why I even wrote this. I didn't do anything off of my paper. And he worked the room like a stand-up. He walked the dance floor back and forth like he went into the crowd. It was masterful, and like I really appreciated it. And it's always fun when you see those kind of best man speeches or maid of honor when they can kill it too.
I agree. Like I want to. They have to know you're a part of the show here. Okay, you are a part of the show. I spoke at AQ's first wedding. Okay, and
not the second.
No, they like eloped. They did the whole elope thing, which is, from what I've been told, was a good time. They told me, but I'm 0 for 1 too on his wedding, so probably shouldn't do that anyways. But that was very interesting. 2 very different families were coming together there. Okay. Very, very different families. AQ's crew and then her crew, good, very nice people, but 2 very different backgrounds of humans in there. And while the other speeches were happening, everybody knew I was speaking, I was representing our side. Okay, so it felt as if our entire side was like to me, like, hey, you're a fucking guy. Like, we can't wait for you to go out there. Like, this is going to be awesome. Because there was a lot of long speeches happening that were being read, and everybody was like, come on, hey, this is going to be your fucking time. Paul Puzlesny, he like looked at me, he was like, can't wait for you to get up there, man. I'm like, all right, Buzz, I appreciate you, man. And I go up there, and this is like, her side of the family was very classy. I mean, they were very classy, very professional. I liked them a lot. But they were super nice, you know, like super, super nice people. And I was like, all right, don't swear. Do whatever you got to do. Let off, maybe 4th word in was, Hey, I'm just going to cut the fucking tension here a little bit. Literally how I led off with it. And obviously, AQ's entire side, we got to pop, right? Because they all saw what was happening. They all saw how it was going and what was happening. And then all of a sudden from there, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to work these people over here into having a good time as well. And then once I got them to pop a little bit, I was like, all right, now we are in unison. Let's bury AQ now. Like, this is what we're doing here. And it was, and by bury, I mean, like, obviously put him over in a good way. But that's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. Phil's got a tall task.
Whatever you say has to be funny, all the way from the 15-year-old cousin of the bride as well as the 95-year-old grandma sitting in the front row. And there's very few things that are universally funny like that. So you have to find a way. It's pretty good to just start out, compliment people, kind of compliment the bride early on, and then, like you said, just trash the groom and then end it on a high note, praising their relationship.
I don't want to keep, like, my first stand-up show I did. Okay, I did a VIP meet and greet thing beforehand, and this was before I had ever gone on a stage. We sold out a theater or whatever because my Twitter followers are the greatest humans on earth. So then we had to add another night. We did it, sold it out or whatever. So I'm doing this meet and greet. There was a fleet of 85-year-olds that were there. A fleet. They came together, one bus. They said they loved me. There was like 2 men, 6 women that were all like 80 to 90 years old. They came from their senior citizen, and they're like, we love you. Like, we absolutely love you. And I'm like, thank you so much. Like, this is awesome. We took a photo, VIP photo or whatever. So they're in the front row. And then about 3 rows behind that, I had my teammates. Robert Mathis was there, right? Robert Mathis, Vinatieri was there. Anthony Costanzo was there. There was a bunch of people there. And then there was like 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds back over here. And then there was, I had like 10 different demos. And before I went on stage, I thought about it. I was like, are any of these humans going to laugh at all of this stuff? How are all of them going to find one? How are all of them going to find a common ground here? Well, fuck it. I don't know. Here we go. And I went out there with the mindset that I have no idea which group is going to laugh at what, but I am going to watch for it. Like, while I was talking, like, there was somebody that I had noticed that maybe early was like, okay, not into it. They were forced to be here either by a friend or a spouse. And I get like the 80-year-olds to laugh early. And I'm like, all right, that's my fucking group right there. I appreciate you guys. And then I get my teammates dying. I'm like, okay, I got them. And then there's like a couple dates in the back where maybe their girlfriend asked them to come, right? So they hate you automatically because they just automatically hate you. And then I would see them, and then I'm like, all right, we'll get back to them like 5-10 minutes, see how they're feeling. And then I would look back over at them, and I would have like a smile. I'm like, oh, fuck, almost there. All right, let's go over here, and then let's come back. And then they'd be laughing. And that is kind of how I would assume it's going to feel for Phil, because Phil is going to be trying to talk, and you almost always start to go and try to attack the people that aren't enjoying it, as opposed to talking for the people that are enjoying it. And there's 2 different strategies there. And I've learned through my speaking journey here, let's go for the people that are enjoying it and fuck the people that aren't. and if they aren't, like, to hell with them. You either catch up or get the hell out of the way. And I just hope Phil does that tomorrow. Like, hey, Phil, you speak your speech, bub. You talk your talk. You do whatever you got to do. Don't worry about anything. I'm going to appreciate it. And it's on Saturday, by the way, not tomorrow. I'm going to appreciate it. But don't read a damn thing, because then it just means you don't mean anything that you're saying.
Yeah. If you have anything written down, if he wants to try to, like, if he's nervous, you want to remind yourself, have a couple note cards in your pocket, just like to look at, a couple bullet points right before you go up there. Okay, cool. And then if something tragic happens and you just freeze in the middle of it, maybe pull it out and look at it. Oh, okay, Pat's old girlfriends. Okay, here's my next story. And obviously that's something you should stay away from. And people always think it's hilarious to talk about. I tell you what, I never thought Pat would settle down. He's running through girls like the water his whole life. And then all of a sudden,
that is not, by the way,
came into his life.
That is not true. And
I'm not talking you. I'm saying, like, this has happened at other weddings I've seen. I'm like, nope, it's never a good idea.
Glazer
never
did
talk about the
Hold on.
yeah.
Is that what Glazer did?
Yeah.
Because Glazer said yesterday he was booted from the wedding after he gave his best man. The best man was booted afterwards. That is insane. That's like, after the parents and obviously the bride and the groom the best man and maid of honor there. That's like in the pyramid of importance at said wedding. If somebody's get too drunk or anything like that, if you're down the bottom ring, probably a lot quicker trigger to get you the hell out of there. Best man's got to get out of there. I mean, that was, I wonder what he said. There has to be video of that somewhere.
Release the tapes, Howie. Howie Long's got him. Release the tapes, my man. Do it now.
What do you think he said, Ty?
What do you think he said?
Listen, Kurt, I know that you loved, serving up the hot salami to girls back in the day, but I never thought you'd settle down. You did. It's incredible.
No, we can't.
Cork door. Hey, I didn't want to. All right.
What the hell was that?
Hey, feel good, baby?
Ty, I didn't know about this, Ty. Why didn't you do this during the interview yesterday?
Come on. We need to stay away from that. We need to stay away from that.
Still workshopping it, Wasn't 100% comfortable with it
Not
yet.
polished yet.
Bro, he's gotten in that rocket ship over there. We are off and running. Dude, Jay Glazer, poor guy.
Great guy.
Hey, I didn't say it. He did.
He's like Jeff Dunham. You know Jeff Dunham, the guy that has all the puppets? Mm-hmm. He can say whatever the fuck he wants with his right hand. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. It's not me, it's fucking Bubba or whatever. Yeah, it's not me, it's this. That's what Ty does with his voices. Hey, I didn't want to say it. Lou Holtz said it.
He said it.
What do you want me? Regis Philbin, by the way, being born at Notre Dame. Any thoughts, Coach?
Listen, no one has done more for the University of Notre Dame than Regis Philbin. In my opinion, they should bury him underneath the 50-yard line at Notre Dame Stadium, next to Newt Rockney and myself. No one has done more for Notre Dame than Regis Philbin. Rest in peace, Regis.
Rest in peace to Regis. And I mean, we offend everybody here on the show, I think. Honestly, I'm learning that about this show.
Impersonations are not offensive. It's flattery.
You know what?
Yep.
AJ, anybody do an AJ Hawk impression?
Yeah, I mean, people have over time, for sure.
What did you think of him?
I laughed. I would always laugh if it was good. Like, there's always, I never, deny it. I'm like, oh, no, that's not me at all. I'm like, well, yeah, you got me. You got me pretty good, actually. I've been paying attention.
Well, I do say that way. I've only had a couple people try impressions of me. Only a couple.
And he nail it or no?
I've laughed at them, for sure. I appreciate them. But, I mean, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, that's it right there. I think it's tough to catch my cadence, to be honest. I do believe there's some things, obviously, that I do with Don, and I'm an idiot and stuff like that. But when I get going, it's going to be hard for people to impersonate that because I can just start talking and not even miss a breath and still keep the sentence going. And and then all of a sudden I sound like the dumbest human on earth whenever I go, oh, Don, it's going on. I mean, there is a lot of things. And I am excited to hear. Molinaro did one there. It was pretty good, I thought, pretty good, but nobody's really focused on it. And
Who's Molinaro?
Joey Molinaro, he's from Indianapolis. He's an impersonator on. He just signed with Barstool. Congrats to him, by the way, getting the deal.
Oh, he does a Pat McAfee impression?
He did it once. Super Bowl. I think it was after a Super Bowl. Or
Yeah, it
something.
might have been.
String of them.
Yeah, I was just a part of a crew of them. And then one guy did it to me at an event I was at. The car got stopped, and I was told to roll down the window. And friend talked about Friend's impersonation of me being amazing.
Yeah, best one ever.
Yeah, the
Never
boys
started out that way.
The boys were all there.
Saying, hey, greatest story ever. Well, first off, I've said this a million times. Stop yourself, bud, because it's not the greatest story ever. You just hyped it up way too much.
As soon as somebody says, I got a funny story for you, I literally reach underneath my desk.
It's tough, man. Like, always keep your expectations super low, so then you exceed any of the expectations. Don't start it out high before you even start the whole story. It's not going to be that good.
And the problem for this guy is all the boys were there, right? I mean, all the boys were there in the back seat, and it was just like, bro, you were going. It was like Showtime at the Apollo, dude. This guy had no.
His buddy said this is he's got a great Pat McAfee impression.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I was that guy doing the impression, you got to punch him right in the face. Like, nope, not doing it now.
He did not. He agreed.
Yeah, he told him to say it probably.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But the boys.
It wasn't good.
The boys did not give it up.
Tough crowd. Boys are a tough crowd.
Oh, tough crowd.
He said
dude.
it would have been better if the face emoji on the iPhone was working. That's basically how he does his impressions, right? Is that the same guy?
Yeah, because he would have put a picture of me on there.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, it'd be way better. Just see the face."
You watch Frank Caliendo do those things. Yes, his voice and his cadence is obviously good, but his entire body transforms into the person that he's talking.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
He studies like the people that he impersonates. He studies them for months. He talks like before he ever does anything to put out there publicly for us to see.
He watches film. He watch it back. Okay, here we go. And he said he's like a perfectionist, so obviously he watches hours and hours and hours of it. But I think he said he was going to work on a McAfee. But I think he has so much, I don't want to say pride, but he is a perfectionist. I don't think he wants to put anything out there until he's got it. I think that is very much Frank Caliendo. And by the way, that's probably to his detriment, to be honest. And there's a lot of things I'm that way as well, where if he would just let it slide, it would probably be okay. People would be like, damn, that's good. But for how long he's been doing it, for how deep he is, he's probably, everything in there. He's like, oh, I think I can get this a little better. I think get this a little. He's unbelievable at what he does. Incredibly talented. And he was getting into the internet there for a bit. He's kind of backed off, I think. But he was getting into the internet, and I was like, here we go. This is going to be good.
Why do you think he backed off? I feel like he should be an absolute star on the internet.
He was, by the way. He was taking over the internet. I mean, it was happening, and then he backed off. I don't know why. Maybe he wanted to work on new stuff. Maybe he just wanted to take a break for a little bit.
He did a Belichick the other day after all the opt-outs, so I think he might actually be getting back into it. July is a dead period. People take July off.
And he might have said, hey, I'm going to wait for sports, and I'm going to wait for things that I do, which is probably the smart move, by the way, instead of just powering through every single day.
Well, think about it, too, though. Maybe at some point he wants to be Frank Caliendo. He wants to go have a conversation with somebody and be himself and not, hey, do Madden and then Gruden and then Bill Cosby and then Epstein and then Trump.
What the hell? And then Bush. Just knock them all out and then get the fuck off the stage.
We don't even want to know you're a real human. We just think that you are some alien that channels these impersonations.
I wonder if that's why Ari Gold gets mad when people call him Ari Gold, because it's like, do they only like me for my character, or they like me for my
your
character?
Boy, this is your close personal friend Jeremy Piven?
Yeah, me and Jay Piv, dog. What's going on, bro?
He does stand-up now, too, so you guys should go tour together when everything, COVID lifts.
I'm not sure I'm good enough stand-up comedian to go on an actual tour. I can't deliver same story twice. Not good at it. I don't know how they do it. I don't have a clue how they do it. I can do it if it's months in between, but if it's night to night, 2 shows a night, back to back to back, I don't know how they deliver it with the same amount of excitement. And I did a tour one time, and by I think the 3rd time telling it, I was like, why are these fucking people laughing at this? This is the dumbest shit of all time. And walking on the stage, I'm like, well, this sucks. Here we go. I don't know how the stand-up comedians do it. That's a legit talent that they have that I don't have. But it would be cool to be on a show with Jeremy Piven at some point. Maybe if they reboot something for Ari Gold and maybe I'm a client of his. That'd be cool.
They have a podcast, the Victory podcast, I believe, that Doug Ellen, who created Entourage, and he does it with Drama and E. And it's pretty good, actually. They go through certain episodes. I've listened to a few of them so far.
Entourage hold up? I haven't watched it back.
Nah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The storyline does.
Well, for sure the storyline does. I mean, we want the storyline to hold up for as long as we can.
There's some episodes that still hit for sure.
It's funny for sure still, but
the acting.
I mean,
don't do that, Tone. I watched it for the first time
You fucking
2
Cisco
summers
and
ago. I
Ebert?
loved it.
Watch it back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Foxy. Him commenting on the acting of Adrian Grenier was very interesting.
I think I watched it last summer for the first time, and I loved it.
I still didn't hear you again.
I just watched it recently. I loved it.
Okay, so it was your first time. Yeah. Awesome.
Holds up.
I should probably have my headphones in.
Nah. Wedding week. Woo!
Woo!
Are you getting a fresh spray tan for Saturday?
Are you commenting that I already got one? What are your thoughts right now? Where do you think I'm sitting at? Where do you think I am sitting at currently?
I think you may have had one early in the week. You're going to get another one probably tomorrow.
Wrong-o. I have a tanning bed in my house that I found out I could buy. It's been there for 8 years, and I never used it because the first time I got in it, it was so strong. I literally just had stripes up my body like a hot dog coming off a grill. Okay, still have a burn on my ass cheek on both of them, right down the center, which was maybe 5th-degree burns at that point because I used it one time, the first time, and I never used it before. This particular summer that we're currently in, because of the quarantine, I've been outside more, so I've been getting actual sun. So I hopped in said tanning bed last night whenever I got home from Pittsburgh just to see if I could get a little bit more. I do have some burnage in the stripage region, but this is all natural. This is all natural right now. I'm pretty pumped up.
You've been doing your pool workouts, so I know you've been getting some natural sunlight. I just didn't know if you were going to go top it off with a little spray before the wedding.
Are you trying to get me. You see that? Because that's a tricep right
Oh.
there. Are you trying me right now, dude?
Don't try it.
Hey, I saw your Pierre McGuire clip, and he talked about how big your arms were. Didn't he say something how big you look? Like, you're the best. You're the most built kicker I've seen. Like, hey, easy, bub, punter.
That's why I'm watching the show, dude.
But you are a kicker too, though. If you kicked off in the NFL and you kicked in college,
he said place kicker. So I don't know the exacts if place kicker is a kickoff or if a place kick is a field goal. Whatever the case, good moment to bury Pierre there, who I like a lot. I like him.
That's what Pierre does. He puts people over and then he gets buried.
Pierre, though, hey, hockey community does not like him for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I thought he was liked. Really? So it's people like me that aren't diehard hockey people that like him? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Because you guys get him in small doses. The hockey people get him all game, every game, and he's
not like a hot take guy, and he's not like trashing dudes. No,
he's super positive, I think. So for me, I've always liked him because I enjoy super positive people. But whenever we were having him on the show the first time, Nick was like, "Oh, some hockey people are probably going to tell you about this." And I checked my Twitter, and there were some hockey people that were like, "Why are you having Pierre on the show? Why are you having Pierre on the show?" I like to think that we potentially helped people love Pierre McGuire. He is incredible on the show. Not just great on the show. He knows everybody's name. He compliments everybody. He knows this. He just thought I was a place kicker instead of a punter. One little fumble for him, but he's been in quarantine for 19 days at this point, and he loves hockey. I'm a big Pierre McGuire fan. Big.
He's also very appreciative of us talking about hockey.
Which is nice of him because nobody talks about the fucking sport.
True.
Still zero positive test, right? In hockey and basketball?
Yeah.
They got them locked down, dude. We talked to... we had a bubble show this morning. We had Terrence Ross of the Orlando Magic down in Orlando in the bubble. And I'm excited to get your reaction to this because I would assume the Green Bay Packers, much like the Indianapolis Colts, if you ordered room service, you had to pay for it, obviously. But there was team snack, team dinner. There was a lot of food prevalent and ready for you. At the NBA bubble, Terrence Ross told us that they have to pay for their room service. They have to pay for their meals down there. Coffee's expensive. He's at the Grand Floridian, which is the nicest hotel, I guess, in America. The food is very pricey. He wasn't bitching. He said he was very appreciative, but he was rolling out some details that I had not previously heard. And he was like, the fish are smarter than us all of a sudden. Nobody can catch any fish anymore. The golf's kind of there. I can't really move because I got to check in everywhere I go. I got this band. I got this. I got that. There is an area, but we're still got a little bit to go. So the human side of it, not great, but we're excited to be playing ball. So there were some things I was learning. They have to pay for all their food. Imagine that negotiation between the NBA and Disney down there. Like, hey, our guys are coming in. They're going to unload all the money that you gave us right back into your restaurants and kitchen.
Yeah. So when we see those, early on, especially when they went in the bubble and guys are taking pictures of their meals and they're taking pictures of the menu, they're paying for all that too.
The menu for sure. He showed us the menu. It's like a hotel room service menu. But it doesn't start till 5:00. They have food, I guess, down there for them, like a lunch hall. But he said the food is, pretty standard. By the way, I want to make sure people don't think that he was complaining because he was not. He was appreciative, obviously. He was just rolling out the human side of things that were happening down there. I guess the food that was down there is pretty basic food.
Cafeteria food.
Yeah. So if you want any burgers, wings, steaks, anything like that, it comes off that food menu. And by the way, you only order them from one spot, and it is coming through here, and we are getting our money back for this because we are paying a lot of money to the NBA to have it down here. But games start tonight, AJ. Games start tonight. And the boys have bought in. Zero positive tests. The boys have bought in. I wouldn't be able to. I would have hit my head off the wall already. I would have been gone. They have bought in. I'm very thankful they have.
So when will the NBA Finals be?
October?
Yeah, last week of September and first week in October, I believe. October 12th would be Game 7.
Yeah, October 12th is the end of it. So I remember whenever they laid it out, they're like, the people who don't make the 8 seed, they will be done in 30 to 45 days or something like that, 45 days. And then the playoffs run through the beginning of October. And I was like, damn. That's a long time down there. Even if you stink, even if you know you're out, you have to be down there for 40 days, and they're in the middle of that. And the Orlando Magic, download the T. Ross podcast with Terrence Ross, 6th Man of the Year probably. They're at 8 right now. So they have a contentious next 8 couple games where they're going to have to play to get in there. And he said it's a shooter's paradise. And I would assume he's looking to go off. Snipers all over the place in the NBA with this court because it feels like a high school gymnasium, he said. They feel like they can pull up from anywhere. It looks small.
So tonight, though, isn't Zion playing?
I'm not sure Zion's
Questionable,
playing.
isn't he?
Questionable.
He'll play.
I don't
He'll
like
play.
He'll play.
it. He has to
Questionable.
play.
Why?
I don't know.
I think because of him being out of
Coming
the
back.
bubble or whatever for how long it was. He's cleared, but he wasn't practicing.
I hate that they're doing this again. Like, listen, I'm a big fan of the Pelicans. Okay, Alvin Gentry, hilariously a coach and a good coach. But whenever they were only playing him a certain amount of minutes, and he looked scared a little bit at the beginning whenever he came in, or he was just passing the ball every time he got it. I thought that we should have had a different approach. And they didn't introduce him last, which I wasn't allowed to introduce him last either. Whenever I went down there and did the intros, the only reason why I was doing the intros is because I said they should have introduced him last, and I get down there and they tell me I can't introduce him last. So, I mean, kind of an interesting situation to begin with. But the way they've handled the Zion, they are very, very, very worried that it's going to be too much too soon for Zion. And I think after talking to them, the GM, the business side of people down there, they're like, listen, we want to make sure Zion doesn't get burnt out. With Anthony Davis, the situation we had with him, we don't want this to end bad. We want to do everything right by Zion as much as we possibly can, even if that means that some people are going to get mad, like me, that they're not just feeding the ball through this kid. He is the next one. Get that guy the rock and tell him he can do no wrong. He gets the ball from half court and he wants to shoot. Fuck it. It's Zion's court. He can do it. They want to be able to, like, they want to bring him along in like a proper fashion. So maybe they're thinking that now, but everybody knows that the way the NBA was set up and why they have the Pelicans even down there to begin with is because they wanted Zion in this.
Yes.
So, like, I want Zion, they want Zion, we want Zion. Hey, let's get a little Zion.
Well, don't they have to win like almost all their games just to get in?
No, because other people can lose too, right? So the conversation right now is how many games are they behind? But those teams that are currently in 7th and 8th, they can lose too.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. They only have to get within 3.5 games.
Two games they are within
of
3.5.
place.
Yeah, and then if they're within 3 games, if they're within 3 games from the 8 seed to the 9 seed, they will play a play-in game. If the 8 seed beats the 9 seed, 9 seed's out. If the 9 seed beats the 8 seed, they play again for a winner-take-all there to go in there. So the NBA went in deep on how they would figure out who makes it and who doesn't make it, but it was very obvious that Zion was the reason why they were doing it, and who can blame him? The guy's draining threes now in quarantine. He got tweeted a video of him just going splash city from the corner, and the guy can jump over the backboard if he wants to at the 270 pounds, it looks like. What's up, Tiggs?
Yeah, so it's very interesting in the West because the 8 seed is the Grizzlies, and then 3.5 back is the Blazers, Pelicans, and Kings. Spurs are 4 games back. So those 4 teams are pretty much fighting for that 9th spot.
Kings are done. No, seriously, they've lost a couple guys. They've actually had a pretty tough go in the
okay.
bubble.
It hasn't even started yet.
You heard it here.
The NCAA will allow student athletes in all sports to wear social justice statements on their uniforms, including replacing last name with words to celebrate or memorialize people, events, or other causes. Tweets Shams Sharania. So it appears as if the NCAA is obviously getting off of its Gestapo-like feel where it rains down on every single moment of everybody's decision. But it feels like they think they're coming back to sports, by the way. The ACC released a 11-game schedule. Notre Dame's in there. They're saying that some stadiums are going to be able to be filled. This is big. I had a lot of dot about college football coming back because the people making decisions are potentially people that I don't want to say don't like football, but don't even really care about sports much. Like these people are in the medicine world or in the admissions or something like that. But the ACC was like, nah, here we go. September 7th to 12th. In scheduling a model that will include 11 games, 10 conference, 1 non-conference. Notre Dame will also play a 10-game conference schedule and be eligible to compete in the 2020 ACC football championship. They're like, listen, you saw the Big Ten say it. You saw the Pac-12 agree with it reported-wise. Now we're jumping in saying this is what we're doing. It's going off. You need to get the hell off the tracks if you want to stop this train. I'm intrigued to see how they pull it off, but they said they're doing it.
I mean, hey, I'm glad. Maybe go back a week or 2 weeks. Like, I don't think you or me had a whole lot of hope that college football was going to find a way to make it happen. And right now, we still have multiple teams where their facility is shut down until early August because they had so many positive tests.
Who needs a facility? Just get out there, roll the ball on the field, boys. Go play football. Go play football.
Coach O said. Coach O said they'll play anywhere, anytime.
Go Tigers. He's also already a national champion, so he can chill for the next couple of years and still be beloved. There's a lot of teams, a lot of business in this. And how about the students? I mean, Virginia Tech kid. What's the cornerback from Virginia Tech?
Caleb Farley.
Caleb Farley, who I guess is a first-round talent potentially
Projected.
in the secondary. He's sitting out and saying, I'm just going to train for the NFL, which we talked about, I think, a couple weeks ago. At what point do some of these college athletes, with their schedule being completely up in the air, whether or not they're going to play completely up in the air, decide, you know what? Let's go ahead and start turning the eyes to the prize, which is making money in the NFL, instead of having to worry mentally, like, oh, do we have a season? Do we not have a season? Do I have practice? Do I not have practice? How many people can I practice with or whatever? Let me just focus on going and getting this money a year from now. And now that's obviously assuming that a year from now everything's going to be okay. I mean, that's who knows with this world. This was originally supposed to be 2 weeks, if we do recall. So I like this move by this kid, but if Virginia Tech ends up playing a season this year, I would assume he'll watch and be bummed out about it. But if he gets drafted in the first round, he's got that bank, and we just move on.
How do you think Lou Holtz feels about Notre Dame joining the ACC, though? Does that take away some of like the aura that Notre Dame has around him?
Well, yeah, it's horse shit. I mean, that would never happen if I was still there. But Brian Kelly, I mean, you know, he's got a couple skeletons in his closet. So, man, I don't know. Maybe he just wants to play football this year. But, yeah, that would never fucking happen under my watch.
Bro, horseshit was a very aggressive word to say. You know?
And throwing multiple coaches under the bus. I mean, obviously speaking as Lou, but then throwing Brian Kelly under the bus, too.
It wasn't Ty.
No, I didn't say anything.
What a fucking straight face you just said that. What a straight face. You just pawn these things off on your mouth, your brain, your words on somebody else.
Hey, what do you want me to do? I mean, like I said, it's horse shit.
Wait, who said it?
Hey, man, these new chairs. AJ, what do you think of these new chairs that Ty's using right here? What do you think about it?
Let me see.
What do you think of that? What do you think
He
of
looks
that chair?
exactly like the little guy, like when you go to the Halloween stores that pop up in the giant buildings for the month of October. He looks like the guy when you walk in, he scares your little kids, like right at the front door.
He's got one. I forget who else. There's a couple other people. Jason, my brother's using one.
It's
Dad
a
has
lot
one
more
upstairs.
comfortable than those chairs. A lot more comfortable.
Yeah, but have you looked at how you look in it? Like, you literally look like... Yeah, you look
Why does it
like...
have to be blue? What can it all be black? Like, what's the
There's
two-tone?
different
about?
colors.
We can spray paint it.
The company sent it to us, so these people
Yeah.
are very, very nice. And you're saying these are
Yeah,
real deal.
I mean, I was Foxy and I have been talking about that. I mean, I think everyone these chairs get uncomfortable after a while, and this thing is a godsend.
I will say my chair is terrible for sitting on it
Yeah.
for a long time. And I've just kind of powered through, like kind of, feel old school. Like, it's a fucking chair. Who cares?
Hell yeah.
But then I see Ty over there just living his best life, sitting on a fucking cloud with back support, it looks like. He's just living. And this all comes after, by the way, he was rudely, surprisingly shoved through his sternum and injured throughout an entire process. So I'm happy they sent it. What's the company? Respawn?
Yeah, respawn.
Worth. I think those chairs are worth like maybe $7,000-8,000 or something like that.
$240.
How much?
$240.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I would assume you agree that it's worth it.
Oh yeah, well worth $240.
This little thing was worth a lot of money, and it wasn't anywhere near that.
Nah, your kickstand down at the bottom fell off like the first day you had it.
Yeah,
And every day since.
and the wheels don't work.
The wheels on the bus.
It's tough, AJ. I mean, we struggle through though. We do what we got to do,
Yeah, I've been there. I sat in that chair for a week when you were on some kind of vacation. I think back in February. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're a gritty Rust Belt guy. That's what you do. You don't worry about the chair. You just sit there and do your show.
Kind of
Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that. I got yelled at on Twitter last night out of nowhere.
What?
Bullshit.
Traveling back from the Berg with my Tux prize possession secured. And the Wi-Fi on planes always kind of shoddy. AJ? Kind of, they come, they go. One flight attendant actually told me, we're on an airplane. And then she just walks by. I was like, all right, yeah, I guess you're 100% right. So I refresh my Twitter feed, and then something had happened, I guess, in the last 15 minutes from the time I had service to when I got service again enough to load my Twitter feed. I guess NXT ran a recap of my interactions with Adam Cole and Triple H. I had 1,000 wrestling people telling me I was the worst human on earth. I was literally just sitting on that plane, uploading my Twitter, and then my mentions just go, "You're the biggest douchebag." I'm like, what the fuck happened? I thought Billy Tubes re-algorithmed the video to get back into people's time. Like, I thought people were seeing the video for the first time or whatever. They aired it on NXT last night. I got attacked, I guess. And boy, that's a wild scene. Do you ever use Twitter, AJ? I feel like you never get on Twitter. You have no idea what I just said there.
I look at Twitter a decent amount. That's how I kind of find my news. That's what it puts everything in one place for me and pulls it together. So that's the main thing. I read a lot of stuff on Twitter, but I'm not very active, I would say.
I think you would be good on Twitter.
I don't think so, man. Whatever, if anything I've ever thought, like, oh, I should put something out. Nope, it never happened.
That's what Zito does too. That's a lot of people's problem. A lot of people don't have the confidence to pull the trigger on. You gotta Zito has.
Take your hacks, baby.
Zito probably has 1,000 to 2,000 sitting in his drafts that would do very well, but he doesn't pull the trigger. He doesn't. We had to it's literally a conversation where more than two of us have to go, Zito, put that out. Like, Zito, put it out. And Zito's like, maybe tomorrow or something like that. It's like, no, put it out. Like, that's a part of, like, the purpose of Twitter is to tweet. I remember when I was tweeting earlier, Billy, we'll ask you about the algorithms here in a second. When I was tweeting in my young career, people would tweet me and say, "You're tweeting too much." It's like, yo, that's a fucking, hey, hate to break to you, this is what fucking Twitter is. Like, these are
why do you have an account? If you say I tweet to him, why do you have an account? Isn't that what we're doing here?
Hey, this is what this is. But that's what Twitter is. You know, it's so fast paced. You got to get in there. You kind of got to understand the landscape. Speaking of landscape, I literally thought you re-algorithmed that video last night with the amount of hate I was getting from wrestling people, Billy.
Oh no, I changed the tags on the back. Yeah, no, it got kicked back up.
Oh, so you did do that.
Oh,
Billy I'm on a plane. I'm living my life. You know what I mean? And Billy's just like, hold on. Let's fucking throw in a little curveball into this guy's happiness here. Let's get people to attack him. And USA, NXT, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, they ran it in the middle of that as well. So not only is Billy coming against me, but then out of nowhere, literally had no clue what was happening. Did not know it was happening. Probably would have watched if I knew it was happening and tweeted alongside of it. And it just started. So I didn't know you tag teamed me with the NXT there, Billy. I really appreciate it.
I was actually watching NXT and I saw them run the package and I was like, oh, all right, let's go at it.
See, that's why you got Billy Tubes in the office right there. I appreciate you, Billy.
Baby Bill. I appreciate you too, Bill. More than all the rest of the boys.
Thanks, AJ. I'm coming over for dinner tonight, right?
Can't wait.
Cool.
Yep. I live in Indianapolis.
What's your deal? Why'd you just try to bury all of us in Billy's eyes for yourself? Good for
I
yourself.
wasn't burying him. I just didn't want him to show up to my house.
By the way, this is what the poll said, okay?
So you win. What do you mean? You dominated in this poll.
That's what I'm saying. So I actually retweeted that poll because of the amount of people that were attacking me. I was like, you know what? Let's put it to the test then. 73-27, go to hell, Adam Cole.
But the vocal minority, Stooges, came at him.
Came at me. And I didn't expect it, to be honest. I'm getting married in a couple of days.
That's what you want, though. Anything to do with wrestling, isn't that what you want? You just want attention one way or the other, good or bad. Does it matter?
I didn't sign up for that.
Like you guys, Sam Roberts, his whole role is getting hated on, isn't it?
Yeah, but Sam loves that. Like I'm not in that. I'm not trying to be hated by humans. Like I like a happy, upbeat. Like hey, let's have. Like I like my Twitter being a positive place. Like I don't mind my mentions. Like going in there and just being like, hey, how's it going? Like I don't mind that. There's some people that love the drama, and I ain't about it. I ain't about it because I like being on Twitter. I enjoy it. I'm on there a lot. It's where I get my news as well. It has gone very negative, it feels like. So it's been hard to kind of do that. But I feel like if you just got a toxic pit in your hand all day, probably going to affect you a little bit. So for me, I like my positive life. So every once in a while, whenever there's just a wave of people, douchebag, fuck you, asshole, Adam Cole should have shoved that mic up your ass. Somebody tweeted me. I'm like, Jesus. Yes. I'm like, all right, I guess we get off of Twitter here for about 20, 30 minutes. But that's the way you go. Things go like that sometimes. NBA's back tonight, AJ. Have you bet? Oh, you're in Ohio.
Can't
Drive to the border.
You should drive to Indiana for the Spread the Love campaign with FanDuel right now. We got the Lakers at plus.
It was 16 before the show. It may be 17 because we're only 698 away.
So we're
at plus 18 with 1379 till we're at plus 19.
so we are at plus 18. We moved the line. We moved the line from -4 to plus 18. Every 2,500 people that lock in on the Spread the Love campaign, boom, it goes up a point. So we're at Lakers plus 18 right now. That should be free money for everybody. We should keep hammering that, though, in all states that are legal of age. And let's go ahead and just lock in some money tonight while we watch the Lakers and Clippers come back to basketball with 25 cameras on the court, with a gym that everybody thinks they're going to get wet in. Basketball is back, and we're making money off of it. We need you to join in with us.
That means we're up to 50,000 people who have put a bet in on the Lakers, and 2.75 million if everyone bet $50.
How about that?
Hey, how's that work though? So if you can't do, is Ohio not open for online betting? How does it work?
Not today.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're out.
Yeah,
Can you get a VPN? Can you do a VPN and say I'm in Indy?
I'm
No,
not sure.
you can't
I'm not
do
sure
that.
I'm allowed to give that answer.
I don't know how to do that anyway. I've just heard it. I've heard other people say that.
It shows up in my Twitter comments a lot because there's a lot of people that are like, man, I wish I could be a part of this free money in California or whatever. And then some super smart person will go in there and be like, bingo, bango, here's this. I don't know how any of it works. I don't know if it's legit either. And I have no idea. But if you are in a state where it's available, this is free money tonight. We just got a band together. 50,000 people on our team.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
1,400 more till we're at plus 19. Here we go.
That's awesome.
Think it's a guaranteed win for the Lakers?
Bro, we did this with the Colts and the Saints, and I think it was plus 59. I forget what it was, plus 50 something.
The Saints came out
Hot. They were up like
60.
30. They were up 30 in like either the first quarter or the second quarter, and I was like, there's no fucking way we lose this. But I got a text from the Colts PR guy afterwards, and he was like, thought you were going to lose. That would have been bad. I'm like, you're telling fucking me. Like we were, but it was, I think we should win this. I think we should win this.
Yeah.
But if we get that thing to plus 20, plus 25,
Yeah.
now we're playing the game. Now we are playing the game. And
Clip's
that's
got a
what-
few guys out. LeBron's not going to let him lose by 20.
It's free money, but we had to do it as a team. Still have to do it for a team. And we're asking you to
next
join
time-
us, AJ.
Next time we get Jet passing on, we need to ask him. Yesterday I said, like, if you remember, I was like, do you think Manfred's going to try to make an example out of Joe Kelly? He's like, no, there's no reason for that. Okay. What, he gets suspended for 20% of the season?
What's up,
8
Jet?
games?
Yeah, it would have been 22 games in a regular season. It's 13% of the season. And this is because Joe Kelly
That
threw
face is awesome.
awesome face. Go cry about it. Shut the fuck up, he said to him. 96 mile-an-hour heat at somebody's head, which, by the way, captivated the internet, captivated the sports talk world. The MLB was the talking point on whether or not that was tradition in baseball. You fuck us over, we're going to bean you. You hit one of our guys, we'll hit one of your guys. The strike zone might not be the same exact every night. The umpire gets to do it. So for me, I thought the over suspension there is just another lack of self-awareness by Rob Manfred. And everybody said it. The internet was a buzz about it. Carabas from Barstool Covers Baseball said it. He got suspended mightily. And the Houston Astros, who got caught cheating, got suspended no games and actually got protected in this entire thing. And if he goes 2-3 games there, I think everybody's like, yeah, okay. I mean, he threw a projectile almost 100 miles an hour at another guy's face. I mean, okay, 2-3 games there. The extent of it, how big it is, it's just like, come on, dude, this is another dumb thing. And by the way, I might be wrong here. I think it was good for baseball. Like, I think a lot of people thought it was good for baseball.
It's great for baseball. Same thing like NASCAR. Why wrecks, if nobody gets hurt, are great for NASCAR too. Like even the networks putting it on, they understand actually the best thing that NASCAR loves is after races when racers go in, they confront another guy and they get in a weird fist fight. When one of them has a helmet on, they still have the neck harness, and then all the pit crew jumps in. Yeah, like that's what people absolutely love. But I guess Joe Kelly, they even said in that tweet, it's because of what his previous interactions he's had with batters. He's thrown at people before, so it's like in the NFL. If you get your first time helmet to helmet, you're going to get fined $25K. Your second time, you might be $75, and they always just continue to put more and more on top of it.
I think James Harrison had like a $700,000 fine at one point that one season whenever they were trying to change football completely from James Harrison's style of football to the modern style of football. And they might as well have just told James Harrison and others that played similar to him. I assume you were similar in the way you were taught playing football, especially with the story about you ending Kirk Herbstreit's life basically with your helmet to his jaw. There was a couple guys there in that transition where everything they had been taught and everything that had made them all their money and everything that had put them in the NFL, they were told immediately overnight, you can't play like this anymore. If you do, you're going to get fined. You're going to get suspended. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Literally, you guys used to lead out of commercials with highlights of us. You got jacked up was the reason why we were the game. I mean, it was the sport. This is why we do it. Oh, we're not anymore. Going to have to get over it. And this is for the future of the game. Okay, we got a lot of Karens and stuff like that trying not to play football anymore. Their kids will not play football anymore because of that. So you have to change it. Those fines used to get so massive. James Harrison was just like playing for free basically for like 3 years. And were you in the middle of that? Did you play in the middle of that era? And how difficult was that to go to the strike zone, heads up football, can't lay on top of the quarterback? Clay Matthews is still getting fucked by this. Can't go all the way on to quarterback. I mean, it was a wild time for you guys in that fining world.
Well, I think it's the most difficult for probably safeties because they're running and hitting, guys going full speed across the middle when it's not like just – it's going to be a monster shot, but you got to pick the right spot. You got to hit him right in the chest, or else they're going to give you a flag most likely. I think it's toughest though on the outside rushers. If you're rushing the quarterback, you know how difficult it is. You may have 55 rushes in a game, when you finally win one, when the quarterback's still holding on to the ball, you might get screwed and get a penalty and take your sack away. Everything that gets you those big old contracts. So it's toughest for them most likely. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to ever go back. I don't think it'll ever go back to what it was. But maybe they'll relax it a little bit on QBs.
Let's go back to Joe Kelly, though. Joe Kelly proved this offseason at his house that he doesn't always have control of the ball. So maybe he can say, you think I was aiming at that guy's head? Have you seen the video from this offseason where I broke a window at my house when I was trying to throw it down a bowling alley? You know what I mean? Like, I like this. I like what Joe Kelly did. Is he my favorite player? Him and Trevor Bauer, Power, and Tucker Barnhart are probably battling for the top spot, but I love this guy even more, and I think he's getting screwed here. I think he's getting completely screwed here.
Do you think this big suspension is going to make other teams not throw at the Astros? Like, is it going to work?
I think so. So I guess long term, maybe it is a good idea because it won't get talked about. Now, the commentators will talk about the Astros, I assume, the first 15, 20 games of the 60-game season. They'll talk about it. They'll mention it. And then maybe that'll fizzle out. And
but
if
the networks might want to mention it, but Major League Baseball doesn't want the networks continuing to remind people about the whole Astros scandal.
That was Diggs' big take. Diggs was like they punished them so that the pitchers won't throw at them anymore, not only for safe reasons because it might, in their eyes, make baseball look bad. I disagree. We talked about it a lot, so I actually liked it. I think everybody liked it. But every time that happens, you have to talk about what happened before. And to Diggs' point, that is very accurate. Like, it feels like that's potentially for a garbage can payback. And then all of a sudden now people are reminded of what happened. So maybe as an adult, Rob Manfred made the right decision here. But it still feels like if you won 3 games in a 60-game season, that is still enough for people to be like, okay, listen, got to calculate and be cerebral with these beans. We either want it or we don't here. And then it happens, it doesn't happen, it's still a decision to be made. But this is Rob Manfred's bed, and he has to sleep in it because he's the one that decided to scrape it under the rug anyways. So
what if during the suspension, Joe Kelly's like, you know what? I'm pretty upset at the league. I'm going to be reckless. I'm going to go about town, go around, cruise around. All of a sudden gets infected with COVID, comes back to the squad. What if that happens? That's a little bit of a backfire.
We heard.
He's got a family.
Hey, there are some rumors in the Scoopsy, in the Zeet Scoopsy rumor mill about what happened with the Marlins, and it is salacious.
Juicy.
It is very
Let's
juicy.
hear it.
Can't say it,
Can't do it. Can I say it?
but from the story that we haven't got it confirmed by somebody else. So Zito has a friend.
Allegedly. Once you say allegedly, this is what we
We
heard.
need a second source.
Well, this is very salacious. So, I mean, this is something that we should not.
2 sources.
But if it is what is being reported to Zito, which sounds ridiculous coming out of my mouth, so take that for however you want to take it. It is something the MLB could not have stopped. Like the MLB in their protocols and their guides and everything could not have stopped. It's just like players are going to do what players are going to do every once in a while. And you just got to hope that they choose not to, especially after this scare.
So when that thing came out and said, oh, it's rumored that the Marlins went to have a little fun, I think it said in a tweet.
A little?
Zito, we don't know if it's accurate, so.
I like to do those
But
comments.
the MLB did what? I saw each team gets assigned a COVID guy to be like, hey, Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know how. If it's what we were told it was, I don't know if there's going to be enough of a COVID counselor to get involved there to stop that whole thing.
Drop it.
I don't know, guys.
Drop
You
it.
too?
Where did you guys get this information?
Zito's.
See the source.
It seems legit.
It seems real legit.
Hey, listen, the coronavirus compliance commander could have never stopped what this is allegedly to have happened, by the way.
Not a lot of things
It could have never. I don't know if he would have even known it was going down, but it is something that I assume the rest of the MLB is rather pissed off about because they probably had opportunities to do similar like activities and they've chosen not to. And since, a couple guys potentially chose not to adhere to that, and now the entire team gets affected. Now games are getting canceled. And it was the day before NFL training camp. If the story is real, and we'll let somebody else report it. We'll let the internet report it, and then we'll talk about it. We have to report what happens on the internet. I'm not the person that breaks the news, but it almost fucked up a lot of things. It legit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but the whole will be done.
It was.
Well, now two Phillies players tested positive.
No. Clubhouse guy and a coach.
Two Phillies personnel.
How'd they get it from the Marlins?
We don't know. We don't know.
Because if it wasn't from the Marlins, are they potentially doing the same thing that we're hearing that the players did?
Uh-oh.
But now Phillies Blue Jays is postponed this weekend. They're not playing.
Oh, my Blue Jays?
Bro, if we know anything, we know that Rob Manfred is going to make a good decision. And also we know that this is a huge week in the canna dipping history. Well, last couple weeks. As they have finally launched the flavor of all flavors, wintergreen. People who chew tobacco need to get on with it. It ain't the thing to do anymore. All you're doing is hurting yourself and you're barely getting a buzz anymore. There are alternatives out there. Most of them have been shit. Welcome to your alternative. Welcome to your new lifestyle. Welcome to Wintergreen Cannadips CBD pouches. And you can change your life for the better like our good friend at Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, they're great. I love them. Wintergreen's just what I needed as well.
They have other great flavors. Okay, they have other great flavors, but the wintergreen flavor, a lot of people grew up on with their smokeless tobacco. So, Cannadips, they're CBD pouches that taste great. They make your body feel better. They give you the habit of chewing and spitting. Now they have the flavor of all flavors, wintergreen. As all you know in the Midwest, the guys out here love Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen. I don't know that. I honestly don't know if that's true or not, if that's just a stereotype.
I mean, a lot of people
Stereotypically
chew
true.
Grizz, but
Well, yeah. Okay, well, if that's what a lot of dudes do, good news. In a spirit of being a better man, Cannadips wants to challenge everyone to put down the grizzly bear, and pick up the Northern California Wintergreen Wonderland. Go to CannadipsCBD.com and use promo code LIPBOOMERS for 15% off everything on the site. And for a limited time only, Cannadips will throw in a free tin of OG Kush with every Wintergreen log, which is ordered with the promo code LIPBOOMERS. Life's too short to pack tobacco. Grab a tin of Cannadips CBD Wintergreen and hang a honker in front of the kids and wife and feel like a true hero. No more trips to the garage to sneak a dip in sorrow. Liberate yourself and hang lip boomers with Cannadips CBD. Go to CannadipsCBD.com and use promo code LIPBOOMERS for 15% off. That's CANNADIPS CBD.com. Promo code LIPBOOMERS. 15% off. It is a great alternative. It is, and now wintergreen, great taste. Hey, great taste. And it makes you feel better. And they're giving you a free OG Kush tin. Let's go. Have a good time over there. And that comes from that part of California area that grows all the wheat.
Humboldt County.
Humboldt County, yeah.
Shout out.
Is dip flavor like a regional thing? Is wintergreen a Midwest? And like what's out? What do they do out west, down south?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's just a big flavor. Mint, wintergreen.
America.
But I would assume there's more people dipping in the Midwest than anywhere else.
Probably.
Why do you think that?
Northeast.
Farmers. Outside. More you're outside.
You know what? I was walking through New York with Sam one time, and there was a couple in front of us. Young professional couple. One had a suit on. One is dressed up. She was dressed up professional. He had a suit on. They were sharing a bottle, spitting while walking through New York City. I'd never seen anything fucking like it before. I stopped Sam and I was like, "Look at what's happening right in front of us right now." And he goes, and then he passes it over to her, and she goes,
Yeah, that's a little much.
and then I was so mind blown.
love.
Yeah, that's
Oh
New
my
York.
I bet you the South would give the Midwest a run.
Yeah,
probably
for sure.
Tours.
Also, Texas too. Just Texas in general.
Just
Texas,
the-
Oklahoma.
The region of Texas.
Yeah.
So the middle of America, though, is where all the dipping is. Okay.
Well, hey, I got a question though for
California.
Ty or any of the boys. Let's say you're dipping, and you've been dipping for years, and your lady comes to you and she says, "Hey, I want you to quit dipping." You're like, "Sorry, I can't do that. Not going to happen." She said, "All right, you don't have to quit dipping, but if you continue, like every time you throw a dip in, I will throw a dip in as well. Would that make you quit?"
Couldn't hang.
Yeah, but that's a dangerous game because guess what? You know what? Oh, you want to do that? I'm going to put 3 in then. We'll put it to the test immediately. And then when you start puking, you know, it's like, all right, see, so we're not going to do that again.
All right.
You put one top shelf and bottom.
Oh, yeah, do the pyramid. 2 on the bottom, 1 up top.
Stack 'em.
That's like when your old man makes you drink too much booze. When you get caught boozing, you just puke it all up and never do that again, will you?
Yeah, how
I
about
heard that happen.
how'd that work?
I heard
for
that
you?
happen. No, not you.
Oh,
no,
man.
no.
Did that happen to you, Mitt?
Fucking booze bag.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, well, Mike.
And then
I
he
heard there
loved
was
it so much.
that
he did
never
it every
happened.
weekend.
Your dad didn't make you drink a little bit extra one night because you came home maybe a little boozed up.
No, my dad's never done that.
Oh,
Really?
Interesting.
You wouldn't lie to your boss, would you?
No, I would not. I have been offered a full tin of dip to throw in when I got caught dipping one time.
Oh, okay. And did you put it in?
No, I did not put it in.
Smart.
Good for you.
Stop dipping.
You little.
That's gonna be the type of dad I'm gonna be. By the way, kid comes home drunk. Sit down, bub. Playing a game of flip cup. You and me. Rest of the night. We're going full cups too. We'll see how much you want to drink in the morning, pal. See once you puke out your entire innards how you feel about drinking. Are you cool, guy? Now you cool? By the way, you're going to school too. Let's go ahead and do this thing.
Be Rust Belt dad. Yeah, you're Rust Belt dad.
That's about that. I'm drinking water, by the way. You're drinking beer entire time.
Nah, you gotta put him under the table.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to at this point. It is. Alcohol kills me, AJ. It kills me now at this point. My body is the softest body of all time. I used to be able to do it and do it and do it well and do it again. Now I just can't do it, AJ. Just can't do it.
Yeah. Hey, I understand more than anybody how that. When's the last time you were like truly hammered?
Bachelor party.
Bachelor party had a lot to drink.
But that's expected.
It's bachelor party.
golf
But
outing.
you
what?
also
Golf
you
outing.
ate 7,000 milligrams of THC.
True. I think that
At
was the
least.
more impressive feat. I don't think that gets talked about enough.
It doesn't.
Foxy gets mind blown whenever I'm a fucking.
I've seen Pat do a lot of things, and I'm like, that's just Pat. Like, keep it moving.
just so used
but
to
when
it.
he inhales like an entire joint before a show or something, I'm just like, how? I don't understand it. It makes no sense.
There's been some big situations where I have been like, oh, this would be a lot better story if I just fucking go ahead and take this bad boy down and be like 50 milligram or whatever, maybe a 20 milligram right before a massive thing. It's like, yeah, much better story. Let's go ahead and toss it in there. And then the entire time, Foxy's just watching through the camera and he's just like, I don't know how you're fucking doing this right now.
It makes no sense.
You know, there's functioning alcoholics. Pat is a thriving
Go ahead.
vitamin taker.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, you know, some things are for everybody else. Some things are just for me. You know, some things are just for me. Like I would like to, you know, like I kind of, you know, it's a little game I'm playing too. Like everybody,
It's unbelievable.
maybe that's why I don't get bored. Maybe that's why I don't get bored with things because people don't even know. I'm battling right now. You don't even know what's going on up here. There is an entire war zone going on, bro.
That's what. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's how you fight off boredom, I guess. If someone comes to you and tells you they're bored, you tell them, hey, I got something for you, pal.
Listen, try to take down more milligrams than you did in your entire life. Just try to take down and then see if you can just go ahead and do it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a good time. So when I was training kicking balls in my backyard, I would obviously utilize vitamins because I thought it made me think deeper and let me get the swing down a little bit. Never in a million years would I have ever done it for a game, though. I guess there's guys that do it for games and stuff. And I'm like,
yeah.
you are a madman. There's people that drink before games.
Josh
That's
Gordon.
nuts. I heard David Faraday talk about some player he was talking to, and the guy said, I figured out my problem. I practice drunk and I compete sober, and I've been competing terrible. So he's like, I'm like, well, okay, then you know the answer. You got to compete drunk too, then, I guess.
No, practice sober. I think that's the right answer. But it is.
I don't know. Maybe not. maybe he's in the groove, like you said on your bachelor party weekend. You ingested so many vitamins. Your golf game was on point. You were playing so well. Like maybe that's how a lot of people are with booze.
Maybe my best round, actually, that I've ever had might have been the last day of that bachelor party.
It was very good.
I feel like a real golfer. It was fun. It's a lot of fun. I can see why they enjoy it. It was like pin seeking, poo, poo, poo. And I actually heard that sound in my head too, because how far gone I was. Boom, 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 boom. Like, look at that coming down. And then
You had all those. You had 15 pizzas that AQ ordered for everybody.
yeah, real hero, fucking hero. But I'd be standing over the ball. Okay, I'd be standing over the ball. I'm like, all right, man, it's been working so far, hasn't it? Yep. Well, let's not fucking overthink it here. Well, of course not. Let's just swing the shit out of it. Yeah. Wrong club. All right, let's get another club. I mean, it was a full breakdown of golf before every single shot, though, that I was going on. I was like, Jesus Christ. Maybe this is what Sergio Garcia's doing that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
All right. Is that the show? Are you coming to the wedding Saturday?
I'm sorry, I have a
Are
previous
you
engagement.
What the fuck?
Apologize.
What the
Diggs is demanding an apology. Did you hear that?
Apologize.
fuck?
I did not hear him. Did you put on the? I didn't see on the invites. Did you put no kids allowed?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a solid move. If there's anyone on the planet that doesn't want little kids screaming while you're reading your vows, it's you. So I think that's a good move on your part.
Hey, we're memorizing the vows. What are vows sound like? I don't think I've ever paid attention to that part of the movie.
A-E-I-O-U.
And sometimes why?
You knew that was coming.
Yeah, I guess. I never paid attention to that part of the movie, though. What is it?
What do
Like-
you
just,
mean
like,
memorize?
say
Did
nice
you write
things.
your own vows?
Yeah, we're writing our own, but I mean, I've got ideas, but I don't know what they're supposed to be. Is this supposed to
love
be funny?
you. I always love you. No, not normally funny. Like
See,
talk
people
about
read their vows.
Talk about like you're the wind to your. She's the wind to your sails.
Yeah, listen to a Creed song. You'll be all right.
You could hire Scott Stapp. Is he playing your?
Seems my life is gonna change. I close my eyes. I begin to pray. Is that right?
Yeah.
In tears of joy, stream down my face with all my whole heart. He's gonna miss the fucking baby then, okay? Baby's small. Put him a little bit closer, pal, like you're catching a punt, okay? Take it easy, not like you're hugging somebody.
in.
They get a lot of heat. Maybe I do right. I promise to be arms wide open when we decide to procreate at one point in the future, whether it's near or far.
So wait, you're gonna memorize them like people's vows? That's something that it's okay for people to read.
I don't read, dude.
I respect it. I wouldn't want to either.
I hate reading.
I think I have to write them down, though. Sam said I have to write them down because there's like a vow book that's like a memory thing, I guess. Something like that. I was like, well, cool. Would somebody record it and then I'll just write it down afterwards?
That's a good move.
She's like, no, it has to be in there
You
before.
could have Zito scribe it for you.
Oh, great. Fuck it. Maybe the... Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my Mitch.
Mitzvahs?
Mitch, you've been preparing for this, okay? Early, we would have never put you in this position. Ever. Never in a million years. But now, you watch that video back, and you hammer that thing. And somehow, you got to get the tone in there, too. Maybe all exclamation points if it's a little, excitable moment. What did you say? Did you just say what the priest guy told you to say?
Yeah, I just repeated what he said.
What did they say? I, tat.
Yeah, and I told him like, hey man, my brain is half dead, so you can only do one word at a time. So it took a very long time.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe that.
I believe that.
I believe that we.
I believe that we.
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
This just stinks. All right.
What is that from?
U.S. men's
US soccer.
U.S. men's soccer, and they stink so bad. I can't wait for Christian Pulisic to put that whole squad on his back because that chant is the greatest chant that I've ever heard. And I wish that we could actually believe that we would win with that team, which I believe is right around the corner because Christian Pulisic is the greatest footballer on planet Earth.
hey, I can't debate that. I don't know. I need to tune in and watch it. But I
Can't
wanted
debate it.
when you were mentioning Mitt's
Undebatable.
minutes. Don't you think right now Mitt could give you your first like 3 or 4 lines of your vows?
Yeah,
like, I think
probably.
he could just freeball them off the top of his head.
Yeah, Mitt, let me know what you think I should say here. Why don't we get a good 3 lines you think should be my first 3 of the house?
Mitt, pick up
Go
the
ahead.
microphone.
Go ahead.
Come on, Mitt.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Mitt.
Mitt.
Come on, Mitt.
Oh no.
You got it, dude.
Just use your words.
Come on, B Rabbit.
I don't know, dude.
I'm
Say
nervous.
I love you.
But on the surface, I look calm and ready to drop bombs. But I keep on forgetting what I wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now. Everybody's choking now. The time's up over. Snap back to reality. Up there goes gravity. Up there goes gravity. Up. He's on gravity. Whoa. Good luck out there with it.
So I love you was a good start.
Please.
You're gonna be a great dad, probably. That should be in the vows.
Say
Yeah,
that
yeah.
to his wife.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you. I'm gonna be a great dad.
I love you. You're cool.
You are a
You're
donkey.
cool. But you know I'm going to be a great dad. Okay. Boy, anything else? Let's fucking bring it home here with the romance.
Here you
One
go.
more.
Come on, line 3.
That's a good one. There you go.
Let's fuck.
You got this, dude.
Come on, Mitt. Come on, Mitt. You got it, Mitt.
So drunk.
This is so bad.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Don't
No,
say that.
I'm blanking. I don't know. I've never been married before.
Hey.
I don't know.
Oh, hey. What
right,
hey,
good
hey, Matt, I
Have a
think,
kid, though.
Matt, you're going to be a great husband
Yeah.
and a great dad.
Oh, I'll be a great dad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you will.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Mitt. Sorry to put you on the spot. I thought you had something.
We did.
No, you did not think that. You put him in a terrible spot on purpose right there. Yeah. AJ, any final words here as I go into my wedding weekend?
No, I mean, I'm glad you're not nervous. There's no reason to be nervous. You're going to do great. You're going to perform up there. Like when you're doing your vows, I think you're going to get a few chuckles. You know, it's not supposed to be funny. Your nature, you will naturally throw in a few funny quips. But one thing I have said to somebody, people are like, oh, what's the best day of your life? Oh, my wedding day is the best day of my life. Absolutely not. Then your marriage sucks, man. Like my wedding day was not the best day of my life. Hopefully you like the person enough to where it continues, your relationship grows as you get older. I'm like, no, every next day is the best day of your life.
Let's go.
If your wedding day is your best day, like, okay, then why am I getting married? It all is downhill from here.
Clip
No,
it.
it's stupid.
Hey, I love that mindset. So if it sucks, I know, like, hey, this is supposed to be the worst day of my life, not the best day of my life. The best day of my life will be every single day I get to wake up next to my bride,
Hell yeah!
Samantha McAfee.
There's your vows.
So your wife's watching right now?
My
AJ,
wife?
Yeah.
Not a chance.
She hates the show.
No, she loves it, but she's got 4,000 things she's doing. She'll tune in. She's watched some of them. She will. My parents saw my parents last night, and they enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
and my
Pistol.
mom's like, "Oh,
Shout
I'll
out
tell you
Pistol.
what, AJ, you get kind of funny after a couple Cosmos, and we watch at night. They watch it on replay."
I love the pistols out there slamming Cosmos watching the show.
No, I don't know. Pistol makes the Cosmos for her. I think he just hangs out and drinks Diet Mountain Dew.
Gentlemen, that's what I need to do as a husband and a father one day is hang out, drink Mountain Dews, make Cosmos for Sam, and watch my kid talk on the internet in front of a fake bookcase. Hey, AJ, I can't thank you enough. We all wish you were coming this weekend. We will see you next week. And actually, we should get him on a couple of the Zooms next week.
We do a FaceTime with him.
We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some clips of like topical shit because sports are back next week. So I won't be doing any live shows because I'll be on obviously my honeymoon and don't want to get divorced. But we're gonna cut some clips each day from down there via a Zoom call and a FaceTime and everything like that. You should get in there for sure.
Yeah, let me know. And good luck. Congrats. Hope everything goes well. It'll be awesome.
Thank you, man. All right. Well, to everybody that's watching, hasn't happened yet. Getting on a plane yesterday, I actually told Foxy, what if all this is happening? I get here, get the tux, and she gets asked, like, do you take this man to blah, blah, blah? And she goes, nah, and just walks off. I'm like, I would obviously be devastated, but boy, what a fucking savage move that would be by her.
What a moment.
That would be a moment. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So that's why you guys hold your applause until, you know.
Okay. Golf claps.
Until next week.
But to all the people that watch the show, we thank you so much. We are very lucky that you fucks with us on a daily basis. Starting in September, we're going to have some changes to these shows, and they're going to only get better, bigger. And we're just trying to bring the absolute best content we possibly can. And the next time you see me, I will be a married man probably. That's a lie because I'll be on my phone this weekend, so you'll probably see me there. But you get it. I'm getting married very soon, and I'm very thankful that all of us are going to experience it together. I love where my life is right now. I'm very, very lucky. And cheers. You guys have the greatest weekend of your life. AJ, you're the best, man.
You are. Thanks, man. Good
Thanks
luck.
for doing the show.
Can't wait to hear how it goes.
Thanks for doing the show, by the way, the last couple of days. Very, very cool of you.
Oh, it's fun. It was great. I love the chaos of it. It was very fun.
Well, and you don't suck, so I appreciate that because there are some names that get tossed at me for potential, and I go, I'll just ask AJ. And they go, oh, no, it'd be no problem. We can get insert name here of guy that I hate. I'm like, nah. Just can't do it. We'll get. You ever seen a jawline on AJ Hawk? AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk. Way to go there, Z. That's a great way to end it. That's the fucking show, baby.
The greatest sports talk show on the internet from 1 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. So come on down for a mental vacation with the boys on YouTube Live. It's McAfee and Hawk. McAfee and Hope Sports Talk. AJ used to tackle quarterbacks, and he's a Rust Belt kind of guy. That's the punter of the decade for the 2010s, kicking Pierce missiles to the sky. It's McAfee and Hope. It's McAfee and Hope Sports Talk. It's McAfee and Hope Sports Talk.